You know, at the very highest levels of chess, just one single game can feel like an entire tournament in itself. And in round 4 of the Sinquefield Cup, we saw exactly that. We witnessed a perfect storm of shocking preparation, a terrifying attack, and a dramatic turnaround that completely upended the standings. So let's dive in and break down exactly how this incredible storm came to be. I mean, listen to this. That's how the commentators put it. And believe me, they were not exaggerating. One player came to the board with a deeply prepared, absolutely brutal plan. And the other, one of the best players in the world, was caught completely flat-footed. Okay, so to really get the drama of this one game, you've got to understand the bigger picture. Let's look at where things stood heading into the day. The situation at the top was, well, it was incredibly tight. And what you see right away is this massive logjam at the top. You've got 3 players, Caruana, Aronian, and Praggnanandhaa, all tied for first, with this huge pack of elite grandmasters breathing down their necks. The pressure here is just off the charts. Any win by one of these leaders would give them a massive, massive edge. But, you know, as the round started to play out, something interesting began to happen. The tension on the other boards was so high that it led to one peaceful result after another. So look at this. The other 2 leaders, Aronian and Praggnanandhaa, both drew their games. They couldn't break away. They couldn't pull ahead. And what that meant was the stage was perfectly set. All eyes, and I mean all eyes, turned to the final game still in progress. Nodirbek Abdusattorov versus Fabiano Caruana. A win for Caruana would make him the sole leader. And this is where the storm really hit. Abdusattorov, playing with the white pieces, didn't just come to play a game of chess. He came to unleash an absolute hurricane that he cooked up in his home lab well in advance. His plan? It was just audacious. He castles on the opposite side of the board from Caruana's king, which is basically a declaration of war, and then he just starts launching his pawns forward. But the real shocker? It was this move, G4. The idea wasn't about pushing past. It was about fixing Caruana's pawn right where it stood, turning it into a target, all to pry open the H-file for a direct assault on the king. It was such an unusual concept here that it stunned everyone. And hey, don't just take my word for how scary this was. This is what Fabiano Caruana himself said after the game. I mean, think about it. For a player of his caliber, a world championship contender, to say that, it just shows you the kind of psychological terror he was facing over the board. And this number right here, it tells the whole story. Nodirbek is playing his moves almost instantly. Bang, bang, bang. He's clearly in his prep. Meanwhile, Caruana is burning more than 20 minutes on his clock, just trying to figure out what is going on and how to survive this thing. But right when it looked like Nodirbek's attack was just unstoppable, when it seemed completely overwhelming, the entire game, and maybe the whole tournament really, it all pivoted on a single critical decision. The storm was about to change direction. So yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? He had victory right there in his hands. He was so close. Where did it all go wrong for him? Okay, so he gets to this critical moment, and he has a choice. The winning path was actually a quiet, patient move, like King B1, something to secure his own position and just keep the pressure cooking. But then there was the other option, the tempting one, just grabbing a pawn right in front of Caruana's king. It looks like the killer blow, right? But it was actually a massive blunder. And the commentators really hit the nail on the head here. The psychology of a moment like this is so intense. It's incredibly hard to resist that urge to just take the material. But by taking that pawn, Nodirbek released all the tension and handed Caruana the one thing he desperately needed: time. Time to regroup, reorganize, and launch his own counterattack. And Caruana, phew, his response was just flawless. He plays this quiet-looking move, Rook H8. It seems defensive, but it was actually the first step of a brilliant counterpunch that totally seized the initiative. And just like that, in a flash, the hunter became the hunted. And you know what? From that exact moment on, Caruana never looked back. He converted his advantage with absolute precision. And the result of this one epic game, it sent absolute shockwaves through the entire tournament. Just look at the aftermath. A total shakeup of the standings. Caruana is now all alone at the top, a full half point ahead of everyone else. That three-way tie we started with, gone, broken. All because of this one incredible game. And really, if there's one thing to take away from this all, it's this. At the absolute top level, winning isn't always about your own brilliant moves. I mean, Abdusattorov played a nearly perfect attacking game, but one moment of temptation, one impulsive move, that was all the opening a champion like Caruana needed to pounce. This win didn't just put Caruana in the lead on the scoreboard, it gave him this huge psychological momentum. So that leaves us with one big question. After surviving an attack like that, a true perfect storm and coming out on top, can anyone stop him now?